You know, it's a funny thing, how your brain can be absolutely jam-packed with information, but the moment you actually need to use it, poof, it's gone. Well, today we're going to talk about a really powerful way to fix that. It's a method for closing that gap, for turning what you know into what you can actually do. I mean, we've all been there, right? You spend weeks studying for a test, you memorize everything, you know the material inside and out, but then you're in a real-world situation and your mind just goes completely blank. It is the most frustrating feeling. That's the classic gap between knowing something and actually being able to put it into practice. So why on earth does that happen? All right, so here's our game plan for this explainer. First, we're going to really dig into the problem, what we're calling the knowing-doing gap. Then, we'll look at a solution, learning in a sandbox. We'll see exactly how it works with a cool case study called Inside the Marketplace, uncover some of the hidden skills it builds, and then wrap it all up with the big takeaway for all of us.
Okay, let's start by really defining the problem. It's this idea of the knowing-doing gap. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's that huge chasm between having book smarts and actually being able to perform when it counts. It's where theory and practice just don't seem to connect.
And this right here, this really lays it all out. Think about it. On one side, you've got the classroom. It's safe, it's structured, you're memorizing vocabulary, you're learning the rules on paper, you're dealing with abstract ideas. But then you step into the real world. Suddenly, it's not about lists, it's about navigating a real, messy conversation. It's not about rules on paper, it's about making split-second decisions under pressure. It's a completely different ballgame. And here's the kicker. Being good at one doesn't mean you'll be good at the other.
So the big question is, how do we build a bridge over that gap? Well, the answer is pretty cool, actually. It's all about creating a safe space to practice, to experiment, to fail. You can think of it like a sandbox.
The official term for this is simulated learning. And the idea is just so smart. You basically create a miniature version of a real-world scenario, but you do it in a totally controlled environment. It lets you get all that crucial hands-on practice, but, and this is the important part, without any of the real-world consequences. You can mess up, try again, and learn from your mistakes without any real risk. It's the best of both worlds.
So to really see how this works, let's look at an amazing example. We're going to step inside a simulated marketplace. Okay, so check out how this all comes to life. First, students get a role. You're either a buyer or a seller. Right away, you're not just a student anymore, you're an active participant with a job to do. Then you get props, like fake money. This makes the whole thing feel real, it makes it tangible. The main event, though, is the practice. You have to actually talk to people, ask for prices, bargain, and finally, everyone has a clear goal. Buy what you need or sell what you've got. It completely transforms learning from a passive exercise into an active mission.
And look at the specific skills being built here. These aren't just abstract ideas, these are actions. This is the practical, hands-on language of how things work in the real world, asking how much, trying to get a better deal, and actually using currency. Every single one of these actions is like laying another plank on that bridge across the knowing-doing gap.
And this quote just hits the nail on the head. It tells us exactly why this works so well. The magic words here are reinforce, fun, and engaging. See, when learning is active and, dare I say, fun, our brains just light up. The information isn't just getting stored away in a dusty corner, it's getting connected, integrated, it actually sticks.
But here's where it gets even more interesting. The benefits of an activity like this go way beyond just learning some new words or how to buy something. There's something else happening under the surface.
This is so crucial. A method like this doesn't just build your vocabulary, it builds the skills that live between the words. When you're put on the spot, you learn to think on your feet. When someone says no to your offer, you learn to adapt and try a new strategy. And with every single little success, you're building real, earned confidence. These are those critical skills that you just can't learn from a textbook. You have to experience them. Okay, let's zoom out and pull this all together. What is the big lesson here? What does this mean for anyone learning anything? And here it is, the core idea. Real, true learning isn't just about how much stuff you can cram into your head. It's about your ability to build that bridge between knowing something and actually doing something with it. The most powerful learning happens when we create these safe little sandboxes to play in, to struggle, to apply our knowledge, and ultimately, to make that knowledge a real part of who we are.
So I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. We spend so much of our lives preparing for tests that ask us what we know. But what if we changed the game entirely? What if the most important tests in life didn't have questions, but scenarios?
What if the true measure of learning wasn't about what you can recall on an exam, but about how you perform when it really, truly matters? Thanks for joining me for this explainer.